Yeah. Oh, about myself. About
Hmm,
myself. I don't know what to say about
good
myself.
for you.
But yeah, I've been on mine since like 2015, and I help build like groups and communities for like gaming, photography, music, art. We have a meme wars group, and then we have a like smaller ecosystem with tokens and stuff like that for creators and all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty much all I do now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever you want to talk about, yeah, I don't care. It doesn't bother me any. Whatever you want to chat about or ask questions about, I'm open to an answer.
Okay. Yeah. Let me let me start out first with something that has actually taken place when it comes to well, actually, it affects you a lot, I guess, because I know you had what was it, David? What was it? Dave's apartment.
Oh, yeah, Dan and Mike's
Mm,
apartment. Yeah,
Dan
yeah,
and
yeah,
Mike's apartment, and it was hooked up with hubs. And
yeah, yeah.
here recently, I was able to go in and check that out. But I found out through you that Hubs is shutting down here at the end of the month and everything. And I think
Yeah,
I think
so
personally that's a shame, you know, because I tried that a while back and I had to use Blender, Unity, and VRChat to do the same thing that you can actually do on Hubs. And
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hubs was amazing little project they had. Like, I know they still have the project, like the code up and stuff, but it's so big that I can't host it myself. So, but it would be cool for like to find a smaller kind of hub setup. But right now, I made a little like A-frame virtual space to hang out in, and then I'm trying to figure out how to bring the this into the A-frame so we can use this to chat while we're in the virtual space. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But it seems to like running on its own window. It doesn't like being embedded that much, so I'm still working with that.
Interesting. Interestingly, virtual markup, virtual reality markup language has been around since the mid to late 90s, and I'm surprised there isn't more projects using that technology.
Yeah, yeah, there are a lot more projects using A-frame and WebXR now, which is
Mm,
is actually like an older. Yeah, as you said, it's an older technology, like older layout and settings and everything from the A-frame. but like WebXR is becoming pretty popular in the video game space, anyways.
Okay.
Like virtual communities and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So
I'm just wondering if Meta is releasing any of their source code.
Yeah, I'm sure it had a lot to do with the whole Meta world thing that Facebook did. Everybody started getting more into the virtual reality. But they're trying to. I don't. Is that even still going? Like I haven't heard about that in a while.
Since the release. It was a idea. I've heard a lot of bad press about it recently. It looks like
Yeah.
they're not getting the investors, and they're not getting the full for it. Therefore, very few advertisers are interested. If you aren't getting the user base, then you've got very little to advertise.
Yeah.
The advertisers will not be interested. Therefore,
Well, I mean, that seems what to happen to all these little like virtual community spots because I've hung out on a lot of them and like they have a big like opening and boom and interest and then they like slowly fade away and then the user base just goes down to nothing. it's really weird.
I remember back in around 2000, 2001, 2002, 3, 4, there was a lot of interest from companies wanting to create a sort of virtual conferences and stuff. And that seems to have died away a lot.
Yeah. The whole virtual room conferences, yeah.
to be fair, I gotta say that's happening to a lot of platforms, to be honest, because like the reason why I stepped away from Minds was because I went to another platform that a friend of mine, old John, suggested, and it was called Fruit Lab. And they were more gaming oriented, and they ended up doing good at the beginning, just like how Minds was. But as soon as they started getting hooked up in the cryptocurrency and stuff like that, that's when everything started falling apart. Right when they started promising everybody that they were going to hook their wallets up to freaking the Ethernet and shit, and it just it just started crumbling, and that ended up going bad. So that's how I ended up going back to.
How so? Poor project management, or just couldn't deliver what they were promising?
I personally believe that what happened was, like, see, Minds had a few years of experience before they started getting into the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they had the points. Yeah, they had the points for a little while, but like, yeah, we could argue that.
The Fruit Lab that they started up, and then a year later, bam, they're just in their infancy, and all of a sudden they want to start playing the cryptocurrency game. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have enough time, really. And they should have. I think they should have set it up ahead of time to where they could plan it out a little bit better before they did it. But they just jumped. They just jumped right into
it. A lot of these little social media places that are using the blockchain are all making the same mistake, and that's they're starting up their server and then they're trying to add a token to their media site instead of starting their media site on the blockchain and building up from there. It's really weird.
That would actually freaking be something that would be good to talk about. I mean, with you, kind of go through that with how you would do something like that, because you would be the one person I would be interested in hearing say that stuff.
I mean, the first thing you'd have to do is set up your blockchain. I mean, it's not hard to like get your own little Ethereum blockchain or like a fork of the Ethereum blockchain that connects to the Ethereum blockchain. Like we use Mint blockchain, right? Which is like you can hook it up to your MetaMask and all that, but you can make your own blockchain too. And like if I wanted to make a social media site, that's where I would start, would be building my blockchain and then build my social media site around my blockchain protocols and then build out from there, instead of building my social media site and then adding all these incoming forks and outgoing, rewards for the token on wherever you have it. I mean, it seems like
Major issue with that. That's right.
Mhm.
Major issue with that is if you are creating a cryptocurrency
Mhm.
rather than a crypto token, if you are going to have regulatory sort of roadblocks in the way. Um,
Well, you can mint the
uh,
token on your blockchain and then use the blockchain for just data, though.
yeah, but there are
Yeah.
other means and ways of doing that. But yeah, it's the entire monetization issue.
Right. Yeah.
And the legal
Well,
requirements around that.
I want an environment that makes me a millionaire. I want to get rich. I want.
I don't think that kind of environment would really make you rich, but it would be a way to start up it from a building block for, like, if there would be nothing to really like collapse upon, because your whole foundation would be built on your blockchain. So all the interactions and transactions would all go through your own blockchain, and that would be your ecosystem.
You know.
So
And
yeah.
also, the entire crypto land environment is susceptible to bursts.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
you could, like any financial system, and you stick all of your assets into that, and then when it goes down the drain,
Yep.
it's you homeless.
Yeah.
I don't feel like going homeless. I just wanted to get rich. I mean, like clicking eggs, click eggs, man. Like that,
Click eggs.
you know.
Yeah.
Now
I
that,
mean, the reward system on the blockchain is probably one of the hardest things to like accomplish, really, because you have all these accounts that will manipulate it just for the token. And there's a million ways to get a phone number or to authenticate through all these little, because I mean all that's required is like, what, a phone number now. You don't need an address or anything, you just need a phone number, right? For
yeah,
most of these traders. So I mean, you could set up your own like Twilio account or Twilio
Mm.
instance and make as many phone numbers as you want to.
yeah.
Mind you, using a platform like Trello, you would start to give them your billing details anyway.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like,
So
but you could,
if there is a warrant required, then that data can still be collated.
yeah.
Now the big question to me when it comes to all that stuff is like I've heard everybody give a lot of hype to Coinbase. Now, is Coinbase really good when it comes to security, or is it just as bad as what Uniswap is and MetaMask and
I mean, if you want security, keep your stuff in a cold wallet. Don't.
Yeah. As far as I am aware, the Coinbase is regulated by the FCA, the Financial Standard.
It's the only their token is. So only the
Okay.
USDC, yeah, 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 only that token is. So
Yeah.
everything else on there isn't. Yeah.
yeah,
So.
not really. Now the way you did that sounded like you had like a negative uh, opinion of it. So
I mean, I use Coinbase for mostly for just like, because it's an easy platform to trade on, and it has a lot of options. But like, I don't keep anything in Coinbase. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I usually transfer it there when I need to use it on Coinbase. So.
Which is another thing. Have you tried or have you looked at PayPal's version of trading?
No.
Okay.
How much is the fees? because remember PayPal has been when it comes to fees in the past.
Those fees are
Uh,
crazy. Hell yeah. Watch those
Yeah.
fees. No, I wouldn't trust them. I would trust MetaMask more than PayPal for a long way. I don't mind MetaMask.
Now,
But yeah,
you also went in and got hooked up with well, we've already covered uh, freaking hubs shutting down. Now, I wanted to bring up you getting hooked up with MintMe.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so before we get into all the technical stuff with what you're doing, could you kind of give everybody a breakdown on MintMe and what you know about them?
Oh yeah, sure. So Mimi is an independent blockchain where you can mint your own token. It's kind of like if you've used Patreon, it's kind of like a cryptocurrency version of Patreon where people can donate to your token or they can buy your token and trade it on the on your own market for MintMe. You can also add other markets like ETH, BTC, and all the other big ones if you want to. You can launch to a bunch of different blockchains or deploy your token to a bunch of different blockchains like ETH, MIME, Polygon, um, CRO. There's a couple other BNB. There's the various amounts that you could launch to, or you can even what we've done is we have we've tied ours to two chains so far. We have ours on ETH and the MIME blockchain so you can cross chain them. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to add more chains and keep cross chaining with more platforms. But it's just a little cheap way to kind of mint your own token and get supporters and kind of I would like you know it's kind of like a meme coin situation. So like the main use for it is mostly like try to run it for like exclusive content or like a Patreon or like that kind of stuff. Well, I'm trying to use it for like a more complex setup with a game and giving out rewards and stuff. But as I said, rewards are hard to do because everybody tries to game them, and once you find a way to game them, it becomes easy, and then people gather too many tokens, and then you have to go back to the start. So you have to find a good balance, and that's what I'm trying to work with is trying to find that balance.
How's it working out for you? Being honest, are you having a rough time with it, or are you figuring things out and working through it and getting things done, or
I mean, so far, what I've figured out from it is that without your own chain and like mining protocols, it's really hard to run a reward system. So like if you have your own chain that like is mining in the background or using something to mine in the background for income, then you're probably good to go and you'll probably make your income back. But with rewards, you're just giving away a bunch of free tokens. So eventually all these free tokens stack up and people are able to sell them and then you go for broke, right?
yeah, this is where. First of all, tokens can they be mined as they're
uh,
not actually cryptocurrencies?
Right. Tokens can't technically be mined, but if you could create a blockchain, your coin can be mined. So there's a difference between a blockchain
Yeah.
coin and a blockchain token.
This is what I've been explaining to people like Roger and various other people, the difference. Also, selling of tokens, surely that, as a US citizen, that would have to come under SEC regulations, and you would have to get various licenses or agreements with the Security and Exchange Commission.
So everything, yeah, it's a weird line with them because it's an independent blockchain. As long as they meet the minimum requirements of the phone number, and then they meet all the requirements of the trading market, then they can do whatever they want. So like
Okay.
all you have to do is have the pretty much like your phone number registered with their reward system, since they have all their other stuff registered under Trader for the cryptocurrency.
Okay, so when it comes to, let's say, mines, there's no requirement anymore for phone numbers to be collated.
Right.
This is another interesting question.
He just got his mind stirring. I could see it in his face. Just like, all the wheels are spinning in Mark's head. Got the wheels going.
I still say mine seems exactly violated SEC rules big time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, you should at least have a phone number or something if you're claiming rewards, or have a wallet on a site. I think that's the pretty much basic rule now. But yeah, that's all you need to mint a coin there. It's actually pretty cool, like especially if you're like used to sites like Patreon or like any like donation kind of site. It's easy to like set up your site for donations, and people can just come on and donate crypto to you, or send it to your wallet directly if you're on the blockchain and stuff like that. So it's a fun way to get intertangled.
Now, with that too, I was talking to Mr. Robot the other day, and I remember you were in chat when I mentioned it, where there is actually a shop in there where you can sell merch as well. If you have products that you wanted to sell, you could even go in to Mint Me and sell your own personal merchandise. I thought that was pretty cool. So.
Yeah. The shop items, like you can lock items or stuff. You have to have your own like merch system, of course, like your own kind of like delivery and setup, or however you're gonna transport the items. Like we just do NFTs on the app, but like you can have your own shop and your own bounties and stuff like that too. So that's pretty cool. Like if you want to get people involved, bounties are always fun to do. But again, you run into free tokens, so don't give millions of tokens away.
Now realize too, like you're the king of the token thing here. So when you're referring to bounties and everything, kind of go into that a little bit and explain it so that people understand that.
So bounty is pretty much doing an activity for tokens. So like we have bounties for like tagging us on Mines or being a Mines member, and all you have to do is fill out a form and say that you did it, and then like a way to verify it is usually there, or it tells you how to verify it, and then you get the tokens for doing the activity.
So you get your rewards for doing certain activities that are set up. I know that you have you have stuff that you post and everything on there, and you started getting me into doing the WoW coin.
Yeah, man.
And I would like to hook that up to your game, because I want to make millions off of Bob Dub. She's clicking those eggs, man, and like I'd be a millionaire in a year after she.
No, she just have a bunch of your tokens. But yeah, for the game, like the game is mostly me trying to experiment with blockchain functions. Like it's like there's not many like actual like I think the max you can earn on there is 10,000 or something like that. So it's nothing big. And then so like I just want to experiment with the functions of like NFTs and sending audio files on the blockchain and stuff like that. And that's what the game's for. But now I'm working on the whole A-frame thing for when the hubs goes away. So I wanna do some stuff with that and try to figure out things for that too. So we'll see how it goes. Too much stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Then we have this that.
I know you said you had a lot of projects that you're working on. Like, kind of go through as many of them as you can remember, because I know it gets overwhelming.
Well, we have Dude, Where's My Wallet, which is a cooperative project where everybody meets up with like once a week, and we do episodes of like skits and stuff. It's a web series that we do skits of, like, so we talk about the blockchain and like aliens and just random stuff and try to tie them together and with AI in a really weird way. It's lots of fun. We have we've got the MTCG site, which has the game on it, which has everybody's on the blockchain's token on it that you can earn for clicking stuff and doing things on there. I just built this chat fly today, which is a substitute for the Minds chat that's going away soon. I don't know when that's going to be, but you're not going to.
We were
Yeah.
just talking about it in the last stream. That's yet to be confirmed yet.
Yeah, oh,
We're
yeah.
still waiting for Bill.
We'll see if that goes away or not. They're waiting on that, so but we have a backup for that. So.
But me and Sam managed to get Bill to give us at least a 60-day notice before.
Yeah, I mean some kind of notice. At least turn the servers back on so you can save your chats to the Matrix before they disconnect it. Like that would be nice.
What I'm intending to do is hopefully within a day or two before it all shuts off, is to actually save all the sort of support room load transcripts.
Oh yeah.
So I can export them.
Yeah. You can export the large file or whatever. Well, that's
then,
nice.
yeah, and they into a load of HTML files, and then I can
Yeah.
them somewhere.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, we need some kind of archive of it because that's crazy. That's a lot of rooms gone, a lot of chats gone. But we got to find some. Like, I don't know of any, like, other than just using the Matrix as a substitute, which is too big for me to host. But
Now I know Mr. Robot was talking the other day about maybe just going in and freaking making an account on the actual Matrix.
yeah, I have an Element account.
Before we moved over to MindChat, we were using Element for Minds community open source initiative stuff and support stuff. And weirdly enough, it was only a couple months ago I actually closed off public access so that being able to publicly write to those rooms, just because we weren't using it, and it was just they were just getting filled up with spam.
Now is that, is that
yeah.
the same one that kept,
we opened them?
Yeah, that was it for the spam, right? That's the one that where all the porn and
Yeah.
everything was popping up. That
Yeah,
was the
I
infamous porn
deleted a
site.
load of comments.
I'm sure. Those are always fun. Yeah, but we have that. We've got Mimi, we've got the chat, we've got the game, we've got the web series, and then yeah, I mean we have groups too. You should check out our groups on Minds where like the Minds, like you can share your music or photos and all by topic. So we've got that. Yeah, we try to do something. I mean,
there is also something I thought was pretty cool because, like I said earlier, you'd gotten me to where I minted out my own coin, the WoW coin, and I think that would be a cool thing to talk about in your interview too, because it's like you actually didn't just mint my coin out; you helped me set it up for free. You guided me through it and everything. So, and you even got it freaking to where it was actually on the chain, So I think that would be cool, for you to just kind of go through about how you've been helping people do that and stuff too.
I mean, with Mimi, I'm just trying to get a lot of creators involved and stuff. Like, I think it's a really small kind of community over there, and they have a good layout for exclusive content and stuff. So, like, right now, I'm kind of playing it as I do. I'm using the system as a game and kind of playing the game, and then people that I know that are joining. I use what I'm earning from the game to help them get started and launch and everything. So, um, but most of that is just trading and people, other creators helping me get me together for to launch other channels and us working together as like a group because there's a good handful of us that are all tied together with the ecosystem now. So it's more than just me. It's a lot of people that put in towards it and help towards it. I'm just the main one that has the account that can do it.
Well, I know I was impressed with that, you know, and like I know you helped Otto out, and didn't Satori also jump in and get a coin going too?
Yeah, Satori launched his, Otto launched his, Bob launched his, you launched yours, and then we have Do Better has his own coin. Um, I'm forgetting so many people.
Yeah. It's perfectly fine. You got it straightened out on the ones I know of. So if there's anybody else out there who you missed, you know, sorry about that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and I try to get what I try to do is look for the creators that want to get on the blockchain because I mean once you're on the blockchain you can do whatever you want with your coin like with yours you could send it out for people that come to your interviews you could send 15 coins to their MetaMask for every interview or something. I mean it might not be much but after a certain amount of time it stacks up and they can go trade it and use it and do those kind of things with it and they don't ever need a MitMe account until they actually want to actually go trade it. And then you could also, like, once you have it on different chains, like if you tie it to the ETH chain or Polygon, you can tie it to different traders. Like you could put it on like Pancake Swap and you could put it on the different traders if you wanted to, too.
So that's pretty cool. I know that is
Yeah.
pretty cool. No, my biggest issue is trying to figure out like all the other stuff. I finally started getting a grasp of what the Ethernet is, and then they started freaking putting freaking Polygon out and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh my god, man. You know,
There's so many of them. There's BNB, there's Polygon, there's like Cryo or whatever, and there's Avex, and there's so many different blockchains now. It's crazy, but like, what they're all striving for the same thing, right? They're all striving for low gas fees, and they don't want the or no gas fees and quick transactions and stuff, and that's what Mimi gives us is very low transaction fees, very fast. So that's why we use it.
right? And I noticed
But
some.
but it's a very early industry, isn't it? Industry that's still learning to walk, and you're going to see a lot of companies appear and then a lot of companies disappear.
Yeah. Everyone that, yeah, everybody that I join, I tell them it's a baby, it's a baby market, it's a baby website. It's not one of these billion-dollar traders. It's a baby website. It's just like any other new tech site you get on. It could go down in 10 to 5 years. Make sure to try to get your token off of it if you don't think it's gonna last, or put it on a different chain or whatever you want to do with it. But I mean, once like ours is on ETH in the MIMI, so like we could send all our tokens to ETH if we wanted, if we thought it was gonna go down or something like that. But you know, I think it has a good little while, at least it's getting more popular. Like it's more people are starting to join in the last couple months than I've seen since I've started it. And I started a year after they launched, so.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it in the early days.
Yeah, yeah.
You always got in the early days, like you know, I remember whenever I started going into mines and stuff, everybody sits there and they talk like 2017 was a long time ago, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, freaking, it seemed like just yesterday to me. I freaking,
Yeah.
like,
Seems
2007.
like 5 lifetimes. Yeah, it seems like
yeah,
5 lifetimes ago, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, but that's because you're the one that got put through all the hell, dude. Like, I don't even know
I
why
never used to have these grey hairs.
Yeah, I don't even know why you volunteered for that shit. To be honest with you, that's some. Well, both of you, like you both were stand-up guys. You know, I mean, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the interview. Like, I wouldn't have really stuck around if it wasn't for you, Mines. You really freaking helped guide me to a lot of the places. Like I was into writing and stuff, and you supported writing groups and everything, and that was a big deal for me. And
Oh yeah, I love
now, are
writing.
you still doing gaming?
Oh yeah, I still game. Yep. Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
I mean, I made a gaming video last month. I try to. I don't make them as many as I used to, of course, but I still game and still try to make videos and stuff. Like I don't stream or anything, but I make videos and game. Yeah.
what's
Oh
your
yeah.
current game?
Right now I'm on Apex a lot.
Oh wow. See, I don't even want to touch Apex. My son keeps getting on there, and they got like these weird freaking characters and shit. Like,
Oh, they're great, man. They're great. They're all great
then you're
characters.
walking along, and all of a sudden you're in the Minecraft world and shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, man. Somebody.
Oh, my kid plays Roblox all the time. He loves it, man. It's great. That's like Minecraft.
So, with the Imaginarium, you're going to have to give us a freaking breakdown on the Infinite Imaginarium and what you guys are doing there, because like that is some seriously weird shit, dude.
So Infinite Imaginarium is Dan's baby. It's you'll have to go deep into the flower game with him to get into that. But it's a bunch of cooperative users that do really abstract projects.
Mm-hmm. You really know how to word stuff, man. Like, and Bob Dub's into that stuff, and she has conversations with freaking Satori and them all the time. And
Oh yeah, they're
and
great conversations, man. They get into some wild stuff and psychedelics and m- m- wavelengths and brain activity that they're wild over there, but it's fun.
mm-hmm. It was like the other day whenever we went on your in your in your well the freaking what was it again, the house, your apartment.
Oh yeah, down in Mike's apartment. Yeah, the hubs. Yeah,
I clicked on that
just
picture, man, and I went into like this rainbow bright freaking environment with clouds everywhere, and and I couldn't figure out how to get out of there. And then you and Bob Dub come in there, and you said, "Yeah, man, this had something to do with LSD." And I was like, "You know what? LSD was the first thing that came to mind when I came in this room, dude." So, yeah, like,
It was great. Those are fun rooms to build. It's gonna be a bit sad when they go because they're so fun to build and go hang out. And man, like hopefully I'll figure out something on A-frame. Are you any good with A-frame, Mark? Do you use it? Have you used it?
Not for me, no. No,
No.
no. I haven't done any sort of three-dimensional room sort of creation since 2000, 2002, 2000, actually later than that. At least, not for at least the last 10 years, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I need somebody else that knows how to A-frame so they can teach me stuff.
No, I've played around with back when I was messing around with stuff like that. I played around with Blender, a combination of Blender, Unity, and freaking VR Chat. And what I had to do is go in and build my assets on Blender, put it on
Yeah.
Unity,
Mm.
and then take Unity and transfer it over to VR Chat. So
Yeah. Well, now you just
That
need
must
a
be
Blender. Still need Blender, but
yeah, I love Blender. That's my home base when it comes to all the stuff. Cause I mean,
I've been meaning to touch it for the last God knows how many years, and every time I just look at it, the learning curve is so steep.
your mind goes in circles when you open it up. You're just like,
Yeah,
the secret to learning Blender is learn how to make a donut.
The secret is not opening it. Once you get started, it's addicting. Don't get started. Don't
Yeah,
get started with it.
you
Yeah.
start Blender and you'll never stop. Like I actually have an issue with streaming now because it cuts into my Blender time.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
You know, there's
Man.
times where I'll be sitting there getting pissed off editing videos because I'm using Blender more to edit videos than I am to actually go in and make graphics and stuff. So
Oh, yeah. Blender is fun, man. Like, and that's what the A-frame uses. It uses the .glf files or whatever they are that Blender
yeah,
makes.
GXL, XL.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
compatibility, man, you can
just
go in.
that. It's just that I haven't got the time these days. I'm too busy
Oh,
looking at other complicated stuff.
oh yeah.
You can even
There's
code in
there's
there
too.
too.
I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I can make some cool designs sometimes, but I definitely can't code in there. Man.
I couldn't believe that they even have a experimental gaming engine project going on there too. That's what I'm wanting to do with my dungeon that I showed you guys. I'm gonna try to create a dungeon to where you can go through it. I don't want to put any like enemies or nothing in it. Just obstacles maybe.
Yeah.
And then if you make it through the maze, you get prizes and stuff like that. So don't want to get
Yeah.
too hardcore on it. But
Yeah, I mean, just something basic. Basic is always a good way to start something that's testing, and then and then you go from there.
which brings us to another part that's really really important. It's your games, man. You've told me about some games that you've got going on. You want to kind of dive into those a little bit. Tell us what kind of games they are and how you play them. Games.
Which ones? I have the chicken game. I mean, it's not hard to play. It's just like it's a click-based management game. If you've ever played like a Roblox or like Tycoon kind of game, it's the same kind of concept. You click the little chicken to make eggs, and then you crack the eggs to get yolks, and then you can use the yolks to buy tokens in our ecosystem. And so it's pretty much a click-based tycoon kind of game layout, and then we have the A-frame. Well, with the A-frame, I want to do the same kind of concept with the A-frame, but like I want to use it in the virtual world, so like you could interact with the A-frame, and then certain things you do will like lay an egg, or certain things will hatch an egg and give you points and stuff like that. But I have to learn A-frame first. Well, better. I know it a little. Like I built the site that the current A-frame that we are. I built that and did all the mobile stuff for it. So I worked on mobile and all the hand movements for it. So like I know it a bit, but I'm not too good with um, the links and scripting yet. Like I'm good at the assets and placing them and stuff like that, but Like I'm still learning with the scripts and stuff, so I have to figure out how to do all that extra stuff. But I'll get it slowly. And I like playing around, having fun. I mean, that's what I like enjoying doing with coding. It's just I like trying to challenge myself and make something fun at the same time.
The only obstacle to coding is coding.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
That's right.
Like, it's like everybody's like, yeah, man, I love coding. I love it to death.
I absolutely hate it.
Look at that face.
Tedious and frustrating.
I
Honestly,
don't. It depends on the coding. It really does. Like sometimes you can have some fun. It depends. Like sometimes it's just irritating and frustrating. But I like a challenge. I like challenging myself. That's why I like games because they challenge me.
I keep getting static from people when I keep mentioning this, but like, when people get into coding, they need to realize that you just don't code and leave it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing about like a lot of these old programs that are going on where they went in and did C++, played around with Java, and they don't understand that freaking a lot of that code expires, it gets outdated or updated, so you have to go in and you have to update it, and that's when the fun begins.
Everybody's
You
dream is
remember,
a self-improving code, right?
yeah, you remember I am from the background that I learned assembly and basic when I was something like 8. And we're talking
Mm.
about back in the 1980s, back in the 8-bit era. And I don't know, by the time I was 12, I managed to pick up Lisp fourth and a couple other now very old languages.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's the Paul Bunyan of coding.
The fall button
Uh,
of coding.
that's why I find it tedious and frustrating now. On my extent.
Like, honestly, Mark could rebuild a Commodore and put the coding in for it if he wanted to.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. All in Python too.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
And so, one thing too that I did want to ask you about is on the website for MintMe, what coins altogether do you have already that people could be interested in investing in? Because I know you've got more than just one.
well, I have my token, which is MTCG, and then I also have Dude, Where's My Wallet. Those are my two main coins, and then everybody else has their own coin. I also have Gamer, and that's it.
You only have 3 coins.
Yep.
I figured you'd have like 50 of them.
No, no, just three. Well, my coin and Gamer were launched first because I wanted to test the blockchain. So I wanted to make sure it connected to ETH, and I wanted to make sure it connected to MintMe and all that kind of stuff. So those are the two coins, and they were launched before they had like the cross chain and the stuff like that you could like link your token to different chains and stuff. If I could have linked my token to different chains, I wouldn't even have those two. So I would just have the one. And dude, where's my wallet? But yeah, those are it. And then everybody else is just somebody that came along the way and launched their token, like Eclipse. Some of them aren't around or aren't that active anymore, and some are very active and talk all the time and do stuff on there all the time. And I mean, that's why I'm trying to get more like people involved and more people start posting and like get newer creators involved and start a coin and get the system going because like after a while, if nobody new joins, it gets old to do the same thing over and over. You got to see some new people on there every once in a while. So.
And people like Mark come in and start hanging out with you in the hubs, and And
Actually, that was last week was the first time I've actually been in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hubs is a crazy place, man, and it's wild in there. We need Mark to code up a new Hubs. That's what we need.
That's another thing on my to-do list.
I've been thinking of something too since he came into Hubs with us. I think he needs to set up a freaking avatar of a computer and make it to where it would be in the room wherever we're all hanging out, and he just sits still in one area and he's the computer and he has to be the computer. And every
Not
time
allowed to move.
yeah, and every time he talks, like little freaking algorithms for a mouth pops up, so that the robot is talking.
Yes, it'd be perfect.
I think that would be, because like whenever he talks to me, like the dude is down on freaking like the whole terms of agreement and stuff like that, dude. Like, you know.
Oh, he's been on terms of agreement for a long time. You don't even know. We used we used to have hour-long discussions on this. Like, I used to go back and forth.
I think that's why I probably introduced myself. Hi,
Yeah.
and let me present
Yeah. I think that is like how we first started talking. It was something about the terms of service, and I was like, "Oh no, well, wait, I'm not sure. Hold on." And then like it just went back and forth, and then yeah, that all went crazy with Bill, man. When that first started, he's still on the terms of service, but I mean, they're important. People don't realize how important your terms of service are when it comes time to get things settled.
As a matter of fact, isn't that what did that one dude who started Reddit in? He freaking went and got all that data from universities all over the country, and he would have gotten away with it. The only thing that got him was when he freaking signed in and registered with these universities. He agreed to the terms of service, and
Yep.
they were going to put him away for freaking life, pretty much.
Oh yeah, it was long. There's two that I know of. There's the guy that he got 25 for it, and then there's a girl that was in. And she did a similar thing, but she got like she only got 15 for some reason. I don't know, maybe because it was a girl, but yeah. Serious stuff.
why a criminal conviction and not a civil conviction?
Well, at the time it was, well, you know about the whole story behind Anonymous, right? How Anonymous was inspired.
No, not really. Well,
Yeah.
Anonymous
that's a
was
good question. Why I was a criminal, though. Go ahead. Sorry.
Anonymous was inspired because what happened was I don't have his name on top of my head, but it was the guy who found or created and founded Reddit. Went in and he freaking downloaded shitloads of freaking educational information from these universities, and the universities freaking charge people good money for this stuff. So what happened is they ended up going up against him on criminal charges because they said that he illegally stole information that wasn't rightfully his. And he went against it, saying that this was actually public information that everybody should have a right to. Well,
Technically, it's stealing.
That's
It's not stealing because it's only stealing if you refuse the owner of the property, of the goods, access.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyhow, what they ended up getting him on in the end was the terms of service. He agreed to the terms of service before he.
That would be a civil case, surely.
Mm-hmm. Well, he ended up committing suicide over it, and that's what inspired.
Okay. I know the name. I can't think of the name, but I know the person you're talking about.
that's what inspired freaking
committed
Anonymous.
suicide inside. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that, Minds Gaming?
Well, I heard about the girl that did a similar thing with the whole university files. I didn't know that was the start of Anonymous, though. That's an interesting story. But she didn't commit suicide. She only got 15 years, and I don't know if it was criminal or not either. So, it's interesting. It's an interesting story. I'm gonna have to look into that story now.
I'm talking.
Where if they've got 50 years, then that would be criminal action, wouldn't it?
That
Criminal
was,
prosecution.
and I was talking about the founder of Reddit, not the girl. So.
Oh, the founder of Reddit. Oh, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think all information should be free. That's just my opinion.
Well, I know that by just being around you and stuff. Like I knew that before freaking I even hooked up on freaking the chat thing, cause like just the way you always were, even back in the day with the minds groups and stuff. You know, you were always open about that stuff. So.
Oh yeah.
We are talking about Swartz.
Swords, yeah, I believe so.
Swartz, yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting story, and I'm not a big proponent, or I keep saying proponent, but I'm not a big supporter of Anonymous. You know what I mean? Because don't get me wrong, I'm not like some, you know, emo dude running around with a face mask.
I like their face masks though. They do have a cool face mask.
Do they even exist anymore?
Huh?
Do they even exist as a? I can't call them an organisation because, as a group.
Yeah, there's no kind of.
It's an idea.
Yeah.
Anybody can make an anonymous message and say it's from Anonymous. Like that's one of their open door policies, kind of like, you know what I mean. Anybody can be anonymous.
Yeah.
I like V for
Vendetta
and everything too. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool movie.
It's a great mask.
It really is. So the thing that
so I was just going to say based upon Guy Fawkes, the so-called English terrorist or hero, depending on your point of view.
Really? That's horrible. You see, and they slandered his. We're talking about founder of Reddit, right? I think he froze.
Yeah.
But yeah. So one thing I want to ask you too is like, what is your take on open source and not open source? Are you?
What do you mean?
Do you have a problem with using stuff that's not open source?
Yes, I don't like non-open source stuff. If you can look at enough of the code, it's probably okay. But like a lot of that stuff, like a lot of closed source stuff mines your data and your information, and it's closed for a reason. A lot of them will say it's because of security or whatever, but I mean, I think open source has proven that you can still have security and have an open code. Yeah.
So you missed that whole good freaking thing. I asked him about open source and he said good stuff, and you missed it, Mark Edworthy. You should have just heard that. That was cool. That was cool. You just missed it. And
For
Mine's Gaming said he's not going to say it over again for you. Sorry.
no, I don't know what I said. It comes out. That's it. But yeah, I love open source, man. I've worked on a lot of open source projects, like Glitch is open source, Mimi is open source, Mines. I got involved in Mines because it was open sourced, and I wanted to be a part of that. And so yeah, and, most of the stuff I do is with open source projects or programs.
And see, I just wanted to bring open source up so that I can prove to Tan and to Mr. Robot and Mark that I'm not a bad guy. Like, it's not that I hate open source, it's just that it's really hard and annoying, and I'm getting old and lazy.
I disagree. With things like, as an example, Linux Mint and
I'm on Linux
Ubuntu.
Mint right now.
Fair enough. Using products like LibreOffice and GIMP, Blender.
Yeah.
Blender's on Windows too, though. Don't.
But it's
Yeah,
open source.
yeah,
But it's open
LibreOffice,
source.
That's right.
LibreOffice, GIMP, OpenOffice. A lot of the KDE-based frameworks are available for Windows and Mac.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of open source are coming to Windows more. They're a lot easier to install on Windows than they used to be, anyways, I find.
Well, I found out that Chocolatey actually comes with C++. That's crazy. I didn't even know it was on my computer until Mr. Robot wanted me to freaking transfer movie files here recently.
What do you use? You use Windows?
I'm on Windows.
Yeah.
I told Mark and
This is
them that
this isn't
they can take their
this isn't
Linux.
in the bad old days where things like C++ was actually copyrighted and trademarked by, what was it, Boardman?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you only had a limited amount of licenses to be able to use on any devices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Until MIT took it over.
So there you go. And that brings me back to what I was talking about with Adobe. You know, it's like freaking Adobe.
Even though Adobe has aided in the sort of open standards, as an example, the PDF format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very common is the PDF format these days. Extremely.
Well, I mean, good for them.
I mean, there's good and bad about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with using Windows if you're more comfortable with Windows. I just think that for people, especially younger generations that are like good with tech, I think open source is getting a lot easier to use and it's a lot cheaper to use and
Yeah.
something that it's very viable to use. So
But
definitely good.
the free aspect is the one that draws you in, because I wouldn't have even tried Linux if it was they had a price tag on it. You know what I mean? But
Right, yeah, yeah.
when they told you that
Well,
you
there are commercial open source projects, like we were talking about earlier, Red Hat Enterprise.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, PlayStation, they use Linux code.
Well, I found out PlayStation 3 freaking you can put Linux freaking code right straight into it.
Yeah.
Yes, up to a chipset version. You have to go and get an early edition of the PS3.
So you got him
to
fired up now.
and do everything.
He's on fire, dude. He's on fire.
PlayStation was an innovator of that stuff, man. I remember.
Remember having a long conversation, and I think one of your chat rooms, mine gaming with PB, but that's must have been a year, maybe 2 years ago now. talking about to install I think it was Puppy Linux. Or
Oh yeah. Puppy. I remember Puppy Linux. Yeah.
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 So, uh,
It's fun, man.
we've actually made it to an hour and
Oh wow.
6 minutes.
Cool.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I may need to ask you for a copy of your video because the beginning I might not have my voice in the editing, but I do know you're in it and everything. So, you and Mark. I have a
Oh.
tendency of
Oh.
leaving my mic muted, so I caught that.
Well, I just wanted to test the record function on this thing, so that's what I've been using. So we'll see if it works.
That stuff.
Of course.
It says that you're still recording, so you said
Yeah,
started
yeah,
recording is on. There you go.
yeah.
But
So we'll see if it saves.
before we head out though, I want you to give everybody a little bit of or give yourself a freaking little bit of a my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. Tell everybody where they can find you. Is basically it.
Oh, yeah, sure. You can find me on minds.com slash mindsgaming, or you can go to mindsgaming.glitchme, which is mindsgaming.glitch.me, and that's it. I'm also on MitMe and everywhere else. Just tag me. You'll find me somewhere. I'm online in the interweb.
And if you're on Minds, remember too that he does have a hashtag. So, like, if you have content you want to share with him, freaking hashtag Minds Gaming.
Yeah, man. Use my hashtag, please. I love when people use my hashtag. It's great stuff. All right, man. I appreciate you having me on. Thanks for having me. I'm sending you this audio file if it worked. Don't worry.
All right, I appreciate it,
All right.
man.
Later, guys.
I will see you later. You have a good day too, Mark.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go and get some